Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for episode number 4 of our MP Esports podcast. So, again, 2 rounds in one episode. 2 rounds in the main championship, of course. We had Miami and Canada, and only one for the MP Juniors. Unfortunately, due to some difficulties, we will have only 2 hosts. So that's me and Eikeiei.
Hi guys, I'm back.
Yeah, sort of after this break, I think we've recorded an episode with Eikeiei all the way back in episode 2. I don't know.
Yeah, it was episode 2 with Elias, yeah.
Yeah. So, today we will cover Miami and Canada, as I said, and let's start then. So round number 3, it took place in Miami, and qualifying, absolutely no surprise in Phoenix, yet another pole, but Star, who got promoted to Civet main team, was able to get P2 only 1/10, or less than 1/10 in fact, behind in Phoenix. And, well, it looks like he was up to show some really good pace and maybe fight in Phoenix in the knockouts. Adam with a classic P3. We see him a lot on this. Not a podium position, it's a qualifying after all, but P3 big bonds, P4, somewhere around the leaders at least. Sparks, P6, and the 2 McLaren drivers were a bit, off the pace, P7 and P8 for them, but at least they got in that top 8, so they could fight for the win. And also, let's notice visit the minis, P12, it's his best result this season. Now we hop into the knockouts, and this is where all the fun started, because Big Bonds lost in the quarterfinal against Codrin from FERRARI. Like, Big Bonds, the current world champion, and he's out in the very first duel. I don't know what happened to him then. Well, I guess we'll never know, probably. On the other side of the bracket, Tor beat Renisco, and Sparks was able to win against Adam. And it was his first win of the day. And he was in the semi-finals where he faced Tor, his own teammate. So it was a clash of teammates in the semi-finals then. On the other side was Infionics versus Condorin, and Infionics was able to come out on top and advance to the final. Sparks did not stop after beating Adam. He also won against his teammate Star to advance to his first career final. And against all odds, Sparks from Civet Racing in his 3rd race of the season, 3rd race of his entire Monoposto Esports career, was able to win a race, beating Adam, Star, and Infionics on the way to this brilliant victory. That was really amazing, I must say. Talking about the bottom 8 bracket, we saw Silent Driver, who lost in the semi-finals to Mazur, one of our hosts now. So Mazur wasn't able to get P9 though, as Bituko beat him in this, well, final, if you could call it like that. And let's look at the standings. So this Australian flag doesn't mean anything. It's just a mistake of our graphics creator. And Phoenix in the lead with 77 points, a beautiful number. Then a pair of Ferrari drivers, Uguay Fast and Condorin. And oh, I forgot to mention actually, Uguay Fast, due to personal life problems, did not participate in Miami and in Canada. If we look ahead in time, so Uguay Fast lost his lead. He was in P2. Then Condorin with 52 points. Adam 50 points. Big Buns 1 point away from Adam with 49 points. And with that win, Parks climbs up into P6 ahead of the two McLaren drivers. Then it's his teammate Star, then Silent D, Bacon, and Bituko. That is the top 10. Looking in the constructors, we have Ferrari 116 points ahead of Nocciolina with 77 points, McLaren, Civetta, Nismo. Well, the rest of the teams are on your screens. You can pause the video if you want to take a closer look. But that was the Miami GP round number 3 in the main championship. Now I give the microphone to the other host in this episode, Eikeiei, and he will tell you about round number 4, which took place in Canada. Eikeiei, it's showtime.
So yeah, guys, now we're going to talk about Canada GP, who got as the important character Uguay Fast, because as stated before, my other host today, as the dude with some other problems, personal, and has been substituted, replaced by 12. And we can see that in the qualifying of Miami, we've got, for the first time since, 10 races, I think it were, we've got Star on pole and not in Phoenix, because also some issues to do a better time of the Nocciolina driver. On the third place, from the first time in the season, we've got Big Boons in podium positions in qualifying. And then we've got Coderin on P4. Krish was done a great qualifying this week. P5, Becken also another great qualifier this week with Mercedes. 12, who has replaced, as I said before, Uguay Fast, and Sparks from Civetta. So, on the knockouts, we can see that on the quarterfinals, Star has defeated another time his teammate Sparks in order to duo with Coderin, who defeated Krish. And in semifinals, because of some issues with his phone of Star, he disconnected, and this gave the win of the semifinals to Coderin, who accessed to his first final of the season. And from the other side of the knockouts, Infionics defeats 12 on his first knockouts. And Big Wins leads to semifinals by defeating Becken on his Mercedes. And we can see that in this another semifinal, Infionics defeats Big Buns in an epic semifinal, really close. And consequently, he also defeats Coder in final in order to give his first victory of the seasons. I would like also to mention the P6 by Trev on his debuts and the P3 by Big Burns, who defeated Star in the duo for the third place in Canada. And we can see that after Canada race on World Constructors Championship, we have still Ferrari on the top by his 154 points. On second place, Nucciolina with his 109 points, the second team to do more points than 100 this season. After them, we have Civetta, with Star and Sparks is doing really great job in these two races with 89 points. And really close, we have McLaren on P4 with 87 points and Nismo on P5 with 85 points. It is big delusion of the season, also because some issues from Big Burns. We have K Racing on P6 with 50 points, and then Mercedes with 20 points, Porsche with 14 points, Alfa Romeo with 11 points, and on the last three, Lotus with 9, and Lamborghini and BMW with 0 points. For the World Drivers' Championship, on the other end, we have Infionics with 109 points, because he has scored all points of Notorica. We've got Corey on P2 with 78 points, Big Burns on third position with 71 points, Uruguay Fast with 64 points, because also he hasn't raced in the last two races. Chris on P5 was doing a really great job with his McLaren with 54 points. Parks on 52 points with his victory in Miami. Adam, who has skipped this race because of some issues, with 50 points, so he lost, I think, 2 or 3 positions. Star with 37 points. Ronisco with 33 points. Bacon with 20 points. Silent D, who's doing also a quite good job with 14 points. And Bituco with his Porsche, the best driver of the center group, with 13 points. And this is all from Canada.
Thank you very much, Eikeiei. It was a great Canadian GP, and well, we see that Infionics is building that gap between him and the likes of Conrin, Big Bonds, and Uruguay Fast. But as we are done with main championship races, let's now look at the action in the Monoposto Juniors Championship as well. And it was pretty close there for the win. As 12 from Ferrari. Yeah, he didn't replace Uruguay Fast that weekend. Because round 2 of the MP Juniors took place in Miami. But instead he went on to his first win in this MP Juniors Championship and of his entire career. I was in P2, pretty close, I must say, to 12, with Eikeiei in P3, 1 second away from me, and around 1.5 behind 12. Yeah, Eikeiei and 12 are teammates. Then we had Data from NRT, he's P4. Then Doc from Porsche, P5. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. PXSLY, alright, from the Mercedes Academy is P6. Then Kaiser, Dark Knight, Salif Sama, and Darius, another Nismo F1 team driver. And thanks to an excellent performance by 12, and Eikeiei, Ferrari was able to take the lead of the Constructors' Championship by only 5 points, but it's still a lead. So Ferrari is now first, while Nismo is second, trailing by only 5 points. And then BMW Nismo Academy, nearly 50 points behind the front runners. That is crazy, to be honest. Mercedes Academy, 15 points, is really close in the bottom of the championship between NRT Academy and Alfa Romeo Academy. They both have 12 points, and unfortunately McLaren Academy and Lamborghini Driver Academy still sit on 0 points. Looking into the driver settings, we have 12, and Monoposto F1 World, that's me, as Star moved to the main grid. He conceded his lead, and now 12 is leading with 43 points. I'm in P2 with 33 points, 10 points behind my main championship rival Eikeiei, with a solid performance here in round 2. Sits in P4 with 23 points. Kaiser, P5. The rest of the grid has a lot to say. Not the grid, of course, but the settings is on your screens. So it was a pretty interesting round 2 of the MP Juniors Championship. And now to the news from the paddock. It is announced that we will not race in Monaco next weekend. Instead, we'll go straight to Austria. And the reason for that is, as explained in the official announcement, due to chances of cheating on this track with all those chicanes, which you can cut and gain significant time, and I think that's the right decision, right? To remove this Monaco GP from the calendar. So it was a pretty short episode at this time, but I guess it's for better. Maybe more people will be able to watch this video until the very end. So join us on the 5th episode of this MP Esports podcast. Hopefully we'll have 3 hosts as always, and we will discuss the Austrian GP then, and probably Silverstone if
it's Silverstone.
If nothing changes. So thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and it was me, Monoposto F1 World, and Eikeiei. Goodbye, guys.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Bye guys.
Yeah, see you next time.